Unlocking your true worth with Stoicism. Hey there, friend. Have you ever wondered why it is so easy to cheer for everyone else but so hard to believe in yourself? Like you're out there hyping up your friends, celebrating their wins, but when it comes to your own value, it's like crickets. What if I told you that right now, without changing a single thing about yourself, you're already carrying a spark of greatness? A spark that's been there all along, just waiting for you to notice it. That is what we re-diving into today. A journey to uncover the incredible worth you might be overlooking. Guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Stick with me because by the end of this you might just see yourself in a whole new light. Let's get started. The hidden treasure within you. Why you might be undervaluing yourself. Picture this. You're walking through life, carrying a treasure chest full of gold, but you so used to it that you don't even realize it as there. That's what it's like when you undervalue yourself. You've got strengths, talents, and qualities that are so fundamental to who you are, they feel ordinary. But ordinary? Nah, that's not the right word. They're essential. They're the things that make you, well, you. Stoicism, this ancient philosophy that's still got so much to teach us, is like a map to finding that treasure chest. It's not about chasing fame or fortune or trying to be like everyone else. It is about looking inward and realizing your worth isn't tied to what the world says about you. It's about standing tall in your own truth, no matter what's going on around you. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said something that hits hard. The goal isn't to follow the crowd, but to stay true to yourself, even when the world feels a little crazy. So why do we undervalue ourselves? Sometimes it is because we're so busy comparing ourselves to others or seeking their approval that we forget to look at what's already inside us. Other times, it's because we've been taught that humility means downplaying our worth. But here's the thing. True humility isn't about shrinking yourself. It's about owning your strengths with quiet confidence. Over the next few minutes, we are going to explore the signs you might be selling yourself short and how Stoicism can help you reclaim your value. Ready? Let's dive in. Settling for less than you deserve. Choosing the leaky boat over the sturdy ship. Let me ask you something. Have you ever stayed in a situation that didn't feel right? Maybe it was a job that drained you, a relationship that dimmed your light, or even a habit that held you back. You knew deep down you deserved better, but stepping toward that better felt scary, so you stayed put. I get it. I've been there too. It is like holding a ticket to an amazing adventure but choosing to stay at the station because the train feels too daunting. Stoicism steps in here like a wise friend saying, "Hey, you're worth more than that leaky boat you're sailing in." It's not about being reckless or chasing perfection. It's about recognizing that every choice you make, where you work, who you spend time with, how you treat yourself, should reflect your true value. Imagine life as a vast ocean. Settling for less is like choosing a rickety boat because you're afraid you don't deserve a sturdy one. Stoicism hands you the tools to build a stronger vessel, one that's ready for the journey you're meant to take. Think about a young tree in a forest, surrounded by towering giants. It's easy for that tree to think it's doomed to live in their shadows, scraping by on whatever sunlight trickles through. But what if it stretched its branches just a little higher? What if it pushed its roots a little deeper? That's what Stoicism asks us to do, not to settle, but to grow toward the light we deserve. So, take a moment, ask yourself, where am I settling? And what would it look like to demand more? Not out of arrogance, but out of respect for the incredible potential inside me? That's where the real journey begins, brushing off your wins, why you need to celebrate your achievements. Okay, let's get real for a second. When was the last time you gave yourself a pat on the back for something you accomplished? Not just a quick, yeah, cool in your head, but really acknowledged your hard work? If you're like most of us, you probably brush off your wins like they're no big deal. Oh, I just got lucky, or it's just part of the job. Sound familiar? Here is the thing, minimizing your achievements isn't humility. It's like tossing a masterpiece into a drawer because you don't think it as special. Stoicism teaches us to see our wins for what they really are, proof of our strength, courage, and discipline. Maybe you stayed up late to finish a project, showing grit. Or you spoke up in a tough situation, showing courage. Those aren't just tasks checked off a list. They are reflections of who you are at your core. Let me tell you about someone I know. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah worked tirelessly to earn a promotion at her job, but when it finally happened, she shrugged it off. Anyone could have done it, she said. But when she took a moment to reflect, she realized the late nights, the tough feedback, the moments of doubt she pushed through. That was her. That was her discipline and resilience shining through. Stoicism would say, Sarah, don't hide that light. Own it. So try this. The next time you accomplish something big or small, pause. Say to yourself, I did that. I worked hard, and I made it happen. It's not about bragging. It's about giving your virtues the credit they deserve. Because when you start seeing your wins as proof of your worth, you'll realize you've been a masterpiece all along. Putting everyone else first. The cost of neglecting yourself. Have you ever felt like you were running on empty because you were always putting other people's needs before your own? Like you're pouring all your energy into helping friends, family, or coworkers, but when it comes to you, there's nothing left? Don't get me wrong. Caring for others is beautiful. It's part of what makes us human. But here's the truth. If you're always last on your own list, you're not just shortchanging yourself. You're dimming the light you could shine for others too. Let me tell you about Alex, a guy who lived for his team at work. He'd stay late, skip his evening runs, and ignore the stress piling up, all to make sure his colleagues hit their deadlines. Everyone loved Alex's dedication, but one night, alone in the office, he hit a wall. Exhausted, he realized he'd been so busy being there for others that he'd forgotten himself. That moment was a wake-up call. Alex started carving out time for his runs, setting boundaries, and slowly his energy came back. And guess what? He became an even stronger support for his team because he was taking care of himself first. Stoicism doesn't preach selfishness. It champions self-care as the foundation of a meaningful life. Think of it like a lantern. If you don't keep your own flame burning, how can you light the way for others? When you take time to recharge, whether it's reading a book, going for a walk, or just sitting quietly, you're not being indulgent. You're building the strength to show up as your best self. So, what's one small thing you can do this week to put yourself first? Maybe it is saying no to an extra task or carving out 10 minutes for something you love. Whatever it is, know this. Taking care of you is the most generous thing you can do for the world. Dodging compliments like they're bullets. Learning to see yourself clearly. All right, let's talk about something we've all done at some point. Dodging compliments. You know the drill. Someone says, you did an amazing job, and you're like, oh, it was nothing. Or you change the subject faster than a ninja. Why do we do that? It's not just about being polite. Sometimes it's because we're not used to seeing the good in ourselves. We're so focused on our flaws that when someone points out our strengths, it feels weird. Stoicism has a different take. It says accepting compliments isn't about puffing up your ego. It's about seeing yourself clearly. When someone praises you, they're holding up a mirror to a part of you that shone bright enough to catch their eye. Instead of turning away, Stoicism invites you to look at that reflection, not with arrogance, but with curiosity. What did you do to earn that praise? What does it say about the person you are? Imagine a friend tells you, you're so good at making people feel heard. Instead of brushing it off, pause. Think about the times you've listened, really listened to someone. That's not nothing. That's a gift. By saying a simple thank you, you're not just being polite. You're owning that part of yourself. You're letting your virtues shine. So next time a compliment comes your way, take a deep breath. Let it sink in. See what the other person sees. Because the more you embrace the good in you, the clearer your true worth becomes. Freezing at the crossroads. Why avoiding decisions holds you back. You ever find yourself stuck, unable to make a decision? Like picking a movie on Netflix, but you're so afraid of choosing the wrong one that you just don't choose? Now imagine that same hesitation creeping into the bigger moments of your life. Deciding on a career move, ending a toxic relationship, or chasing a dream. That freeze? It's not just indecision. It's a sign you might be doubting your own worth. Stoicism steps in here like a coach, saying, it's not about picking the perfect path. It's about walking with purpose. The Stoics believed life isn't about controlling outcomes, because, let's be real, we can't. It's about making choices that align with who you are and what you value. Instead of asking, what if I mess this up? Try asking, does this choice reflect the person I want to be? Think of decision-making like planting a seed. You pick a spot, you plant it, and you water it. You can't control the weather, but you can give that seed the best shot to grow. Stoicism teaches us to trust ourselves, to learn from every choice, even the ones that don't go as planned. Every decision, good, bad, or messy, is a chance to grow stronger, wiser, more you. So next time you're at a crossroads, don't freeze. Take a step. Trust that you're capable of handling whatever comes next, because you are. Being your own worst critic. Finding balance in self-reflection. Let us talk about that voice in your head, the one that is always pointing out what you could be done better. You know the one. You finish a project, and instead of celebrating, you're replaying every tiny mistake. Or you have a tough day and suddenly you're convinced you're failing at everything. Sound familiar? Being hard on yourself isn't always a bad thing. It can push you to grow. But when it turns into relentless self-criticism, it's like carrying a weight that slows you down. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, had a lot to say about this. He believed in being strict with yourself but not cruel. It's about holding yourself accountable without tearing yourself apart. Think of it like a coach who pushes you to run faster but doesn't yell at you for tripping. Stoicism encourages us to look at our mistakes with clear eyes, learn from them, and keep moving forward, not to dwell on them until we feel worthless. So, how do you find that balance? Start by treating yourself like you'd treat a friend. If your best friend messed up, would you call them a failure? Nope. You'd say, hey, you tried. What can we learn from this? Do the same for yourself. When that inner critic pipes up, pause. Ask, is this true? Or am I blowing this out of proportion? Then focus on what you did right and what you can improve next time. That's not letting yourself off the hook, it's growing with kindness, because you deserve that same compassion you give to others. The comparison trap, running your own race. Social media has got a sneaky way of making us feel like everyone else is living a highlight reel while we stuck in the outtakes. You scroll through posts of people's vacations, promotions, or perfect lives, and suddenly you're wondering why you're not there yet. That's the comparison trap, and it's a thief. It steals your joy, your confidence, and your sense of worth. Stoicism's got a cure for this. It's about turning your focus inward, to your own journey, your own growth. The Stoics didn't care about keeping up with the Joneses, or in their case, the Romans. They cared about living in alignment with their values. Instead of asking, why don't I have what they have? Try asking, am I becoming the person I want to be? Picture yourself running a race. The runners beside you might be fast, but their pace doesn't change your finish line. Your race is yours, marked by your effort, your resilience, your heart. When you catch yourself comparing, pause. Take a deep breath. List 3 things you're proud of in your own journey, big or small. Maybe you showed up for a friend, tackled a tough task, or just got through a hard day. That's your race, and it's worth celebrating. Stoicism reminds us that our worth isn't measured by someone else's scoreboard. It is in the steps we take, day after day. Neglecting your own growth, why investing in yourself matters. Let's talk about dreams for a minute. You know, those things you've always wanted to do, learn a new skill, pick up a hobby, or just become a better version of you. How often do you tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, or I don't have time? I've been there, promising myself I'd finally dust off that guitar or take that online course only to let life get in the way. But here's the hard truth. When we put off investing in ourselves, it's not just about time. It's about believing we're not worth the effort. Meet Jamie. She always dreamed of running a marathon, but the couch was comfier than the pavement. One day she stumbled across a beginner's running guide that said, start with 1 minute of jogging, 1 minute of walking for 10 minutes a day. It felt too small to matter, but she gave it a shot. Day by day, those minutes turned into miles. 6 months later, Jamie crossed the finish line of her first marathon. tears of joy streaming down her face. That tiny step? It was her saying, "I'm worth this." Stoicism sees self-improvement as a duty, not a luxury. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one." That means tending to your mind, your body, your spirit, like a gardener tends to a plot. Start small. Read a page of a book. Try 5 minutes of meditation. Pick up that hobby you've been eyeing. Every step you take toward growth is a declaration of your worth. So what's one small thing you can start today? Your future self is cheering you on. Chasing other people's approval. Finding validation within. Ever feel like you're performing for an invisible audience? Like every choice you make, your job, your clothes, even your opinions, is being judged by some unseen crowd? We've all done it, seeking that nod of approval to feel like we're enough. But here's the kicker. That applause is never enough. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. Epictetus, another Stoic heavyweight, nailed it when he said, "It's not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them." When we chase external validation, we're letting others decide our worth. Stoicism flips that script. It says your worth isn't in what others think, it's in how you live, how you align with your values. It's about being your own compass, not someone else's map. Breaking free from this trap starts with awareness. Next time you're tempted to seek approval, pause. Ask, am I doing this for me or for them? Then focus on what you can control, your actions, your intentions, your heart. Living in harmony with your principles brings a peace that no applause can match. So, let's make a deal. Today, do one thing just for you. Not for likes, not for praise, but because it feels right. That's where true freedom lies. Staying in toxic spaces, choosing environments that lift you up. Have you ever been in a place that just drags you down? Maybe it's a friendship that leaves you exhausted, a job that kills your spirit, or a social circle that feels more like a cage. It's tempting to think, this is just how it is. But staying in negative environments is like trying to grow flowers in a desert. It's not impossible, but it's so much harder than it needs to be. Marcus Aurelius had a gem for this. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Stoicism doesn't say you can control everything around you, but it does say you can choose how you respond, and sometimes that means walking away. It's not about running from problems. It's about believing you deserve a space where you can thrive. Think of your life like a garden. You can't control the weather, but you can choose where to plant your seeds. Start by setting boundaries. Say no to things that drain you. Seek out people who lift you up, places that spark joy, habits that nurture your soul. It's not selfish, it's survival. So take a look around. Where's the desert in your life? And what's one step you can take to find your sunshine? You're worth it. Letting fear block your dreams. Embracing the journey, not just the destination. What's the one dream you've always had but never chased? Maybe it's starting a business, traveling the world, or writing that book. Now what's stopping you? If we're honest, it's usually fear. Fear of failing. Fear of wasting time. Fear of what others will think. That fear can feel like a brick wall, but Stoicism says it's more like a curtain. Push through and you'll find a world of possibility. The Stoics had a practice called negative visualization, imagining the worst-case scenario not to scare themselves but to take away its power. What if you failed? Would it really be the end of the world? Or would it be a lesson, a story, a step toward something greater? Stoicism also talks about amor fati, loving your fate. It's about embracing every twist and turn, knowing that every moment, good or bad, shapes who you are. Chasing your dreams isn't about guaranteeing success. It's about living fully, courageously, authentically. Every step you take toward your dream is proof of your worth. So what's one small step you can take today toward that dream? Maybe it's signing up for a class, making a plan, or just telling someone about it. Whatever it is, take it. The world's waiting for your light. Believing you don't deserve happiness. Claiming the joy that's yours. Have you ever felt like happiness is for other people? Like everyone else is living in full color, but you're stuck in grayscale? That feeling, that you're somehow unworthy of joy, can weigh heavy. But here's the truth. Happiness isn't a prize you earn. It's a choice you make, and you're just as worthy of it as anyone else. Stoicism teaches us that happiness isn't about what you have or what you've done. It is about how you see the world. Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus lived through wars, loss, and chaos. Yet they found peace by focusing on what they could control: their thoughts, their actions, their gratitude. They saw happiness as a stone you polish with every choice to keep going, to find meaning, to be kind. Start small. Every day, find one thing to be grateful for: a warm cup of coffee, a kind word, a moment of quiet. Tell yourself a new story. I deserve to feel good, not because I'm perfect, but because I'm human. Every step you take toward joy is a step toward your worth. So, what's one thing that makes you happy? Go do it. You've got the key to that door. Use it. The light you carry, your worth is already there. As we wrap up this journey, let's come back to where we started. That spark inside you. It's not something you need to earn or prove. It's there, constant, like the stars in the sky. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy. It's a call to see yourself clearly, to stand tall in your worth no matter what life throws your way. Every sign we've talked about, settling for less, brushing off wins, seeking approval, staying in toxic spaces, they're not proof you're broken. They're just shadows hiding your light. And the beautiful thing? You have the power to step out of those shadows. Start with one small change. Celebrate a win. Say no to something that drains you. Take a step toward a dream. Each choice is a declaration. I value myself. You're not alone on this path. We're all learning, growing, stumbling, and shining together. So, if this resonated with you, drop "I value myself" in the comments below. Share this with someone who needs a reminder of their worth. And keep exploring. There's so much more to discover about the incredible person you are. Until next time, stay true, stay strong, and keep shining.